Hello everyone, and welcome back to Higurashi. We are on God, I'm too tired for this. We are on part 23 now of Higurashi, and we're in chapter 4, as you can see from the category I'm streaming from. And make sure everything works. Yeah, everything looks good. Okay. And this is also my first stream as officially affiliate. I was technically accepted yesterday morning, but it was like right before stream time, so I didn't have the time to like accept and put in all the information and get all the stuff ready for you guys. But now, now I have chat redeems for you guys, and we also have well, the emojis have been there for a while. You don't have to be like subscribed or anything for those. You just have to have the Better TTV installed, and you can use any of my emotes that I have. I am thinking about getting some new emotes just for subscribers, just to give them something a little extra. But I'll think about it with my financial state at the moment. But we have chat redeems now, and as well as if you subscribe, you get a special little title. Pandora! Oh, I love you. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much. You're a founder now. Are you proud of yourself? I should not be awake. I'm sorry, sorry that you were awake. I apologize for waking you up. What's the little thing that just came up on my screen? What the hell is that? Please hold. I think it's you, but the bar is really long. Oh, that's fair. You should get a subscribe badge. Why is this bar so long? What the hell? Sorry. What? Why is this bar so long? What's wrong with it? What the fuck? I may just redo it. Most recent subscriber. I did not set the subscriber thing up on my Streamlabs. Shit. Oh, I see. Okay, so how many, founders do you get? Is it like the first, like, 10 people, or... I am trying to figure out how to get you in here, my dude. Into the subscriber box. My brain is not functioning. What do I have for the other ones? The follower. Segue script. 36 font size. Let me save this color. That way everything could be the same. 10 founders for affiliates and 25 for partners. Okay, fair enough. Let's do segue. Script. And then we do font style 36. The color is gonna be this one. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. I am still trying to figure out how to get you in this box and why this box is so fucking weird. Why is it like this? I may just redo it. Background color. I think I just have that plain. Why does it look like that? That's very weird. We may get to Higurashi. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck, why it looks like this. I'm probably just gonna remake it. Yes, I'll make another one. Where is the thing? Why does it look like that? It's so weird. Hold on. How do I do the... How did I do it? I should have looked at it first. God damn it. Image browser source. Is it subscription? No, subscription goal. Oh my god. Okay, I found it. Sorry, I didn't realize the first 30 minutes of my stream was gonna be me trying to figure out most recent subscriber. Okay. Takeaway strip, regular. That color, yes. Background color? I thought I was just... Oh, there you are, my dude. I just gotta rename the thing. Rename last subscriber. I'll get you going in the box you're supposed to be. I promise. There. Oh no! They copied each other! No! Okay. I have to go and change this now to most recent follower. They copied each other! Wait. God damn it. It's not going to let me. I'm gonna have to remove it and then remake it. Sad. Okay. I think it's just text. And then I add source. And then I change it to the... Oh no, that's not right. That's not right at all. How did I do it? Oh my god. Why? Why whenever I go live that I can't figure shit out? Apparently I don't need to copy. Oh, I think it's paste duplicate. Yes? Copy, paste, duplicate. Can I change this one? Without it changing the other one. Also, thank you, Elfie. I appreciate that. That's fine. No worries. I'm just kind of, like, figuring this out. So, is that gonna change? Okay. Okay. And then I gotta find the color. Right. Sure. Okay, that's right. Okay, got it. Everything's fine. So the top one, we're gonna rename that one so I know what it is. Last follower. I apologize for technical difficulties. Okay. I didn't have the subscriber box set up because I wasn't expecting to actually get subscribers for a long time. It's fine. Well, I just have one person now, so I just have to get everything set up, but it's fine now. Everything's good. Well, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate that so much. I guess no one will be able to see the founders, or not the, founders, the, sub badges that I have until the founders get in here. I'll probably have just founders for a while, because I don't have a lot of people that consistently check out my streams, but... Welcome back to Higurashi, guys! Technical difficulties are over. I now have my little subscriber box, and it's so cute. I can actually use it now. Also for reference, I have chat redeems down there. They're called journey points that you collect as you watch, and you can redeem different things. I probably need to, keep some shit near me to, be able to actually, like, let you guys redeem them, but, you know, it'll be fine. Everything's fine. I also have emojis as well, but you have to have the better TTV enabled. And whenever the founder badges are done, which is 9 people now because of Pandora, you'll be able to see the little sub badges I have for you guys. You'll get some flair next to your name. Which is just the little star, actually. I didn't put a specific flare, but, you know. And, you'll have, little titles, I think, but I don't know where they show up as. Or maybe you have to, I don't know. I named them things, but I don't know if, like, you guys get to see the names that I put in, or if only I get to see them. But it's fine. I still appreciate the subscribe and whatever I get, so. Anyways, let's get back into Higurashi. Affiliate rant over. Technical difficulties over. Let's get back into this shit. First stream as affiliate, guys. I'm so excited. I still don't even have a model. Once I get some more money, I'll probably commission one. That way I know it's gonna get here faster. But it'll be a while before I can get the money for one. So we'll still be like this for a bit, but hey. This is what y'all are used to, right? What happens when I lose my picture? Y'all are gonna freak out. You're gonna be like, oh my god, the picture's gone. What do we do? What do we do, guys? Okay, just kidding. Alright, back to Higurashi. I love that little painting. That goes so well with my aesthetic. Like, they knew I was going to be streaming this game. I also have the mod now. 3D Heather is too powerful. There is too much power. No, keep the model, Pandora. It's so cute. I love it. I like the model, but that's up to you. I just like set the PNG as my starting point, and then I'm gonna be upgrading, to the model whenever I get enough money. Yeah, I have the mod now, the 7th mod for this game. I don't know if I'm supposed to change the sound effects around. I kept the new models and the new sound effects on, but I just kept the backgrounds and, the voice acting and stuff from the mod. Because that's what I was missing mostly. God, the backgrounds are so much better. I was like, why didn't they use these backgrounds on the Steam version? Like, I could have done without the voice acting. Like, it definitely helps, but like the backgrounds themselves make it so much worth it. Oh my gosh. But everything else is the same, except for that there's backgrounds now, and there's, the voice acting for the characters, which some of them I like and some of them I don't. And some of them I'm just trying to get used to. But whatever. Let's get into this. Waking up in a cheap hotel in the city was by no means pleasant. I don't know if About to say, I'm not sure if my mouse is actually going to work. I may have broken it after playing Crush Crush last night, so... I remember even during the long camping trips we had during grade school, I wanted to get home quickly, counting out the days left on my fingers. Don't you judge me, Elfie. Don't you judge me. I might be addicted. I'm gonna have to stream it for you guys sometime to see, like, how far down the rabbit hole I have gone on that. Waking up this morning, I was somehow reminded of that, but I'm shocked my mouse actually still works after clicking it so many times. Was it a need to be with my wife when she gave birth? A particular type of homesickness? As a productive member of society, as a public servant bound to fulfill his duties, it was pathetic indeed. Those negative emotions faded as I downed my breakfast, which was surprisingly not half bad. The meeting with the informant that Oishi had provided would be tonight. Until then, I couldn't just be lazing around. The Onikapuchi Guardians was protesting the dam's construction in various ways. Included in this was a strategy for improving public relations, which could be categorized into 2 major forms, combative and peaceful. In regards to the former, as an attempt to keep law enforcement in check, they appealed to the public's sympathy by highlighting the oppressive and inhumane tactics of the police and the brutality of the riot squads. The latter, peaceful route stressed how precious the natural surroundings of Hinamizawa was, seeking people who would oppose the dam on environmental grounds. As a part of that, the village of Hinamizawa had invited celebrated zoologists and botanists, as well as environmental groups, to advertise the nature surrounding the town. Oh, sorry. Please hold. I actually, don't know, when you, subscribe, Pandora, did a little, emoji come up here? Because I don't know if I've set that up yet either. Please hold. I gotta click out of the game, that way I'm not, It's gonna be in my, my alert box somewhere. Subscriptions. Okay, I did set something up for that. But I didn't see it come up. I just noticed the big, long, text bar on the bottom of the screen, and I was just like, what the fuck? Okay. I did set something up for that. It's the little howl emote that I have. Which, I now have a redeem where you can make me howl, during stream. But yes, I did have something set up for that, for reference. It's, this one here. There's my little badges, guys, for the subscribers. It's the little plant pots. I didn't know I had my own. I guess I do. As long as I guess I can, show you all whenever I get them. what they look like. Sure. Okay. Fair enough. Anyways. According to the news, in recent years, there was a group calling itself Hinamizawa Nature Watching, setting up free sightseeing tours. I would have liked to have taken advantage of the opportunity, but when I called the village administrative offices, they said it was too late to apply for the tour. They were still undecided as to when they'd be doing another one.
そうですか。
Oh, I forgot the voice acting was a thing.
次回の募集はありませんか。残念です。
あんた環境保護団体さんですか？それとも雑誌さんの人？
I'm a detective.
いえ、個人です。
個人？観光ですかね？
観光みたいなものです。美しい自然を写真に残すのが趣味なんで。
Nah, that seems like, what's his face's job?
雑誌でとても貴重な自然が残っていると読んだので。
Gosh, what's his name? Somebody remind me what his name is. The photographer, dude. I knew there was an article that had something like that written in it, but I hadn't actually read it. Was it this ad-lib lie not going to work? However, contrary to my... Tomitake, thank you so much. I totally forgot his name for a second. My mind just blanked. Contrary to my expectations, the person I was speaking to laughed happily.
ならあんた、検査来なさい。村はちょいと慌ただしいけど、歓迎しますよ。
What, that laugh. Sir, I am suspicious.
ぜひそうさせていただきます。ありがとうございます。
あんた、明日は何ですか？お車？もしそうだったら、先にナンバーを聞いておきますよ。台湾ないんですがね。
That was probably related to the checkpoints they set up on the way to the village. If I didn't give them my license plate number, I'd most likely be hindered in various ways. I thought about using the car I had borrowed from the prefecture, but I was lost on whether it was okay to tell them the plate number. Oh, really? I've already done one chapter in this arc. So I guess this is the last one? If the owning of Huchi Guardians was behind this incident, there was no guarantee that they wouldn't be able to find out who I was. I had to play it safe, so I elected to refrain from using the car.
いえ、実は車ではないんです。バスか何かがあれば、それで行きたいのですが。
バスならありますよ。もうすぐ廃線になってますですがね。そんでいらっしゃい。沖宮の駅から出ますよ。
Wow.
ありがとうございます。
That's so weird. I'm used to doing like 2 chapters at a time. I did notice the last chapter was very long. It took me a while to get through it.
探してみることにします。
本当、いつ来ます？南沢さん、初めて？初めての土地じゃ、いろいろとご不安でしょう。教えてくれりゃ、誰か行かせていろいろご案内させますよ。
そんな。そこまでしていただくのは申し訳ないです。
I don't like his laugh.
気にせんでください。これも村の自然さ守るための PR なんですから。
Judging by what I saw at the checkpoint, the villagers were at least very wary of outsiders. That's why in order to move in and out of the village freely, I had to travel with somebody like Oishi or side with the dam protests. Having an interest in the natural environment surrounding the village tied into the peaceful type of PR that the village was using. Depending on how long this chapter is, I'll try to get through the whole chapter in one stream. But not quite sure if that's going to happen, depending on how long it is. So, we'll see. I was a bit against having a watchdog attached to me, but that might actually work out in my favor. The entire village was fired up about the dam protests, so I might be lucky enough to hear some especially candid opinions from the residents. Given that, there was no real reason for me to refuse their offer.
本当によろしいのでしょうか。
Except for, I am suspicious. That is a very valid reason.
でしたら本当に助かります。
After that, I was shown the bus schedule and directed to which bus I should get on. Somebody would come and meet me at the bus stop in the village. After showing me around a spot I'd taken interest in, there was no doubt they'd bring me to somewhere like an anti-dam information center. Then, over a cup of tea, they'd try to indoctrinate me into accepting their principles and beliefs. Well, if that was their aim, there'd be a lot of freebies involved. The world is about give and take, after all. I couldn't be going in a suit. I pulled some plain clothes out of my travel case and changed it to something more casual. If it's the middle of summer, wear shorts, because Jesus Christ, it's hot. After that, after calming down by watching some local television, I left the hotel and set out for Okinomiya Station. The bus route that I was told would soon be discontinued. Certainly didn't look that way. There was more than enough trips on the schedule, and the number of passengers was by no means sparse. Also, I'm very suspicious, because so far the only, main people I've met are this guy, who we haven't met before, and Oishi. I haven't seen any of the other people yet. And this is supposed to be Rika's chapter. I haven't even seen her yet. So I'm so suspicious and confused as to the setup of this chapter. Pred, hello, how are you? It was the main link to Okinomiya, the only town in the area. The types of passengers that stood out were older folk who didn't look like they could drive, and housewives who didn't seem like they had a license. The area was submerged at the bottom of the lake. It wouldn't matter if there was a bus route. That's why it was going to be discontinued in the unnatural scheme of things. I could catch a glimpse of the government's intent in cutting off their means of transportation to bully the village into emptying out sooner. Makes sense. According to the documents, talks between the Ministry of Construction and the locals broke down quite early. That's true. That's what I was thinking. We just met the dude. It's not like it's, Keiichi, who we've grown to, see over the course of 3 chapters in different lights, It's like they changed up the entire formula. I like the concept of, we get to see things, before, during the whole dam construction thing, and from, the police's perspective is very interesting. And I like that, but it feels like it should be, an extra thing, not, a full chapter. I don't know. The government decided from the start to take an aggressive stance on the matter. It was like the fairy tale with the north wind and the sun trying to get the traveler to remove his cloak. Even their bullying had meaning to it. The reason why the Onikapuchi Guardians resisted so violently was because the government was doing unseemly things like that. I was somebody who lived in Tokyo, so for a villager or two out in the boonies like this to be submerged didn't seem like a big deal. But I guess for somebody actually living here, it would be a vitally huge problem. This route will be discontinued at the end of the financial year. Thank you for your patronage up to this point. We look forward to your continued patronage on other lines. Oh, I get to howl! Ow! Thank you for redeeming, Pred. Okinomiya Transportation. Getting lazily at the notice of discontinued service posted inside the bus, I counted down the number of steps until the designated one. You're stockpiling? What are you gonna redeem, Pandora? You probably have a lot, actually, because you subscribed. Along the way, we passed through the checkpoint before without stopping. You're not gonna redeem anything? You're gonna redeem everything at one time, like in the future when you're extremely bored. Like, do all the things, Heather. All the things. That's fair, Pred. Okay, see you later. Thanks for coming. I don't have community challenges. Like, I saw them on a thing, but I don't know what to do for it because I'm just new to everything. They knew what time the bus was coming, so they had opened up the barricade ahead of time. I mean, I could try to do, like, a community challenge for... I just don't like putting a time limit on things. I'll think of something. Okay. Well, I was just gonna see, like, if I could get, like, my... I guess I could do one for my first 10 subscribers or something. They knew what time the bus was coming, so they had opened up the barricade ahead of time. From here on out was enemy territory. My palms had at some point become coated in a thin film of sweat. I hurriedly pressed the stop request button as the designated stop was announced. For none of the numerous passengers to be getting off here meant that it must be quite a remote place. In actuality, the stop I got off at was so abnormally run down that I could tell it was barely used. As soon as I stepped out, an intense atmosphere completely different than the interior of the bus assailed my body. Right now, Wishi or Hondaya weren't beside me. That's right, at present I was alone in the middle of enemy territory. Damn, son. My adversaries probably thought I was just an ordinary tourist, but that was nothing more than a ruse. But if by some mistake my true identity was to be exposed, it brought back the terrifying words I had heard at the prefectural office. That if somebody was attacked in Hinamizawa with a knife... A knife! No! There wouldn't be any evidence left behind. I hope I'm not the only one that knows that meme. I didn't seem suspicious, did I? Don't be suspicious. My clothing was currently casual. It was exactly the type of clothing that a city slicker that viewed the countryside as a wholesome getaway would wear. A camera and knapsack. You mean Tomitake, right? Inside were various things needed for hiking. I hope he meets Tomitake. It was still only June, and maybe it was unusual, but the sun was shining down like it was already the middle of summer. The fact that I didn't bring a hat must seem odd. No, it wasn't something to be that concerned about. It's alright, I was just a normal tourist. Just normal. Was there anything suspicious about me? Asking that as I turned around to look at the bus that was departing. I think the more you ask if you're suspicious, the more suspicious you seem. Oh! Shit! All the passengers by the window were staring down at me, silently. They were staring right at me, as if they had seen right through my proud little outfit, just staring, looking down on me. Countless stares rained down like needles on me from the windows open to air out the bus. I wasn't gonna sleep anyway. I know, right? All-nighter it is. Get you some coffee, Pandora, or some, I don't know what you drink, shit, to keep you up, but all that rained down were stares. None of them were saying a word. But all the more, their silent stares told me more than a million words could. Nice, I drink tea too. Hurry up and go back to Tokyo. You outsider. We don't want you here. There was no reason for me to speak. My quiet voice was drowned out by the sound of the engine. The bus, as if to torment me, set out slowly, and after doing more than enough to intimidate me, sped off. Oh boy, that was a very interesting CG. A thin film of sweat began to rise from my entire body. According to the documents, it was a village that seemed wary of outsiders. Wary is an understatement. It kills outsiders. Its population was small as well. they saw an unfamiliar face, they would be quick to identify that face as an outsider. On top of that, nobody else had gotten off at this stop. It was a bus stop that they normally just passed on by. Somebody actually getting off here, there was no doubt that had drawn some attention. But this wasn't a slip-up. They were the ones who directed me to get off on this stop. There was nothing to worry about. That's what they all say. I knew that I was just nervous since this was my first undercover assignment. My more seasoned colleagues referred to us as the new generation that didn't know how to lose their cool, but that wasn't true at all. Sorry. In order to calm my breathing down, I exhaled the unpleasant air residing in the pit of my stomach. I couldn't help but pray that my apprehensions would disappear like the white clouds of exhaust expelled from the bus. Whew. There was a small shed there to serve as a shelter if it rained, and it was there I decided to wait. Inside the shed, one wall was plastered with posters advertising the dam opposition efforts. It was like the heartfelt screams of the villagers were recorded on that wall. Inside that shelter, I felt an inexplicable pressure. It wasn't like I had any real relation to the dam project, but it still made me feel hesitant about being inside there. That was just how filled with the force of denial that space was. And inside that uneasy space was a girl. Rika! She's so cute. I love her so much. I just want to pet her little head. Oh. Inside the shed, covered in words written in broad brush strokes berating the police regarding the dam and calling for action, there was a girl sitting there with a drowsy gaze, as if half asleep. The two images clashed so much that I could only stand there dumbfounded for a moment, trapped in such a surreal environment. If I stepped inside, who knew what kind of oafish noises I would accidentally make. I couldn't be disturbing the girl's slumber like that. Having thought this, I gave up on entering the shed. It was just a sleeping kid, so why was I so worked up about it? Finally, I realized. This girl, to us, as a married couple, was the very image of our ideal child. Even after numerous examinations at the hospital, we didn't know for sure what our child's gender was. Whether we could tell if they were a boy or a girl was, in the end, dependent on whether or not we could get an image of their genitalia. There was, of course, no guarantee that it was a girl, but with the way the things were, the possibility was high. Even so, Yuki had been saying that the chances that it was a boy or a girl were even. But in my heart, I had already decided that our coming child was a girl. Since the day I decided that until now, it was so fun to imagine how our child would grow up that I couldn't help myself. Amongst those numerous forms, the one that I thought to be the most ideal had materialized right in front of me. Of course, a little of it was due to the circumstances. In my ideal image, her hair would be on the short side. The girl in front of me, though, had long hair. It was almost as if somebody had taken my ideal and made some small adjustments. It certainly wasn't something unpleasant. Even so, I felt like I was sullying her just by looking at her like that. She had an immaculate, no, a divine air about her, because she is a god, and you will respect her. That girl with an angelic smile, with a yawn wide enough you could see her molars, woke up all of a sudden. I didn't mean to peep, but locking eyes with a girl who had just woken up like this somehow made me feel like I was playing a prank on her. I wasn't doing anything shady, but I became flustered. The girl spoke. No, cried out.
Me.
Oh, she's so cute. Oh my god. Meep. Like that character on the show with the puppets? With the orange hair. I thought it was just one of those greetings kids do. So in order to prove I wasn't a suspicious person, I responded in kind.
Me.
Me?
Me?
Me.
The girl stared at me dubiously with a doll-like expression, cute but cold and hard to read. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. There was, after all, an unfamiliar man right in front of her when she woke up, who responded with meep when said at the same time. Suspicious. She definitely thought I was suspicious.
Me?
Oh my god, are we just gonna be in an endless loop of me?
Me?
We were both at a loss for words. No, the only one lost was me. The girl in front of me, as if inquiring about my motives, stared at me intently. In this silence, I felt like I was the one who had to say something first. Damn it, this girl was way better at interrogating somebody than Oishi.
怪しいものじゃないんだ。
That's saying something too. Oishi knows how to get under your skin.
私は
Nipa! Oh my god! Oh my god, it's so cute! Ah! Can I make Rika my official mascot? Holy shit. I need it in my life. Please. Please. Oh my god. I'm gonna, like, open every stream with Nipa now. I'm just kidding. Nipa! Oh my god! What I could have only described as a cold expression suddenly blossomed into a smile, one that soon infected me. You might be familiar with the term angelic smile. To me, it was like the phrase was created just to describe the smile she gave me. The girl smiling while saying Nipa probably wanted me to return the favor in kind. That's right, this was a kid's form of communication. Having the other person emulate what you just did was rudimentary form of mutual understanding.
ニパ
Oh my god, they're just gonna keep looping it! Nipa! That's my new greeting to you all now. Nipa! It was a beautiful afternoon in the early summer. What was I doing? Oh my god. Nipa, nerd, how are you?
ニパ
Well, whatever. This was interesting in its own way. If making somebody happy with just a smile was the work of angels, then this girl was definitely one of them. Aww. I couldn't help but pray that my own child, who was soon to be born, would grow up to be just like this girl. Strangely gentle moment was brought to an end by the arrival of a car. An older person waved at me from the driver's seat, a dry smile plastered on their face.
どうも、こんにちは。遅れて申し訳ないことです。昨日お電話くださった観光の方ですかね。
あ、はい。
お待たせして申し訳ねえ。いや、野良でちょいと遅れましてね。したらと、お乗りくださいな。天気もまんた崩れそうだから、ちゃけちゃけご案内しますよ。
天気ですか？
ああ、ここいらは崩れると早いよ。いや、まあ、夕立になるかもな。そうなったら、ほんと写真さ撮るところじゃなくなるでしょう。ほら、乗って乗って。
Me. Turning around, the girl was standing right behind me with an intrigued expression. Her body language somehow reminded me of a stray cat that follows you around after you played with it a little. So charming.
あれ、リカちゃまじゃねえですか。ありがたや、ありがたや。
Nipa! A girl named Rika with an immaculate smile and an old man praising her while rubbing prayer beads in his hands. She is a god. It is confirmed. It was a rather mysterious sight to behold. So the girl turns her face to me, tilting her head a little in a cutesy manner. After seeing that, The elder introduces me as a tourist who came to sight Higurashi.
村を観光したい若者なのです。
Excuse me. Oh, no problem, nerd. I hope your dentist trip went okay, by the way. I know you were struggling a bit. She's so cute. The girl Rika-chan said that with a smile as she clung onto my arm.
まあね。
Can I summon Rika to my life right now?
この村の
Please.
自然がとても貴重だと聞いたんで、ぜひカメラに収めたいと思ったんだよ。
As long as they fixed it, like, that's all that matters. But yeah, it's a general thing when you go to the dentist. Usually your mouth's gonna be numb in one form or another.
私はこう見えても、とっても写真撮影が好きでね。
富田家2号なのです。
Tomei-taku Part 2. Oh, I see. Well, hopefully both parts go well. Must have been a huge procedure.
富田家？
牧野、僕も一緒に行ってはいけませんですか？
Yes, please.
そんなレカ様が来ても面白いことなんか何もないですよ。レカ様は境内でマリア遊びでもしててくださいな。
Oof. I've never had a root canal, but I've heard they're extremely painful. But I guess you were numbed. If you're numbed properly, you're not supposed to feel anything. But, like, my mom had one time, and the numbing didn't work. And she was, like, done with life after that. For a long time. It was so painful. A distinctly displeased expression creeped onto Rika-chan's face. Being able to show one's emotions honestly on their faces was a privilege young children had. Yeah, she like cried all the way home. It was so painful.
もしお差し支えなければ、この子も連れて行ってあげてください。
When I said those helpful words, another smile spread across Rika-chan's face with another Nipa as she clung to me again. Not bad at all. I want this girl to call me Papa. Oh. No, father, dad. Daddy. Oh my god, so he's really a weirdo. What am I doing? Ever since I met this girl, I was completely off my game. Just calm down.
風なかんと。レカ様はダメだ言うても聞かんしな。知ったらんと己くだせ。ささ、レカ様も。
The old man descended from the driver's seat and opened up the sliding door of the van, which had Onigafuchi Alliance Town Council stenciled on the side. Rika-chan brushed me aside, dove into a seat, and began bouncing around right away. It seems like she was thoroughly enjoying the bouncy springs.
あんれレカ様。そんじゃお客さんが座れねえですよ。
There's something extremely funny about the fact that Rika is a god and she's like, she acts like, you know, just this innocent little child.
やだ、こら、レカ様。
Like 99% of the time. Girls are nice. I wonder if my child would play around like this too. No, no, no. It was written in that guide to raising a child that you shouldn't dote on them. Kids are kids if you don't raise them strictly without spoiling them.
ふかふかでバインバインでニパ
Nipa! Oh my god, how can you, like, discipline her? She's so cute!
ニパ
I am definitely going to be a terrible father. It was decided that I would be a doting parent before my child was even born.
さんじゃお客さん。風景の綺麗そうなとこで適当にご案内しますよ。お昼は食べましたかいね。
It's like a dream of mine to, like, adopt a little Asian girl baby, and just spoil her, like, senseless.
ええ。ホテルで軽食を。
そんですか。
I don't think I could ever discipline her.
南沢観光に出発なのですよ。わーいなのです。
Oh my god. The one they chose for her voice actor is just so stupid cute. Ah! I can't even.
君は リカちゃんでいいのかい？
そうなのですよ。フルでリカと言いますです。もう繰り上がりの足し算とかもできますですよ。
Oh. I also have the power to decide your fate.
ああ、そうなの。
I mean, Pandora, you have no proof that I haven't already melted.
それはすごいな。
I'm just a pile of water on the floor now. A purple puddle on the floor now.
お指とかは折ってませんですよ。ちゃんと暗算でできますですよ。
I still count on my fingers, and I'm 24. The way she insisted upon that was just too cute. At some point, the nervousness I had about being alone in enemy territory had evaporated like it was never there at all. I'm sorry I'm yawning so much. Holy crap. I did not want to get out of bed this morning. I had to be at least a little thankful that I met this girl.
じゃあ出発しましょうかいね。南沢大自然ウォッチング。
The old man stepped on the gas with a great deal of gusto. Oh, that's the bridge. She's so cute. Oh my god. There's the river. Where Keiichi lost it all. Again. The old man, who was apparently named Makino, was he the same Makino that was listed as the auditor of the Onigafuchi Guardians? Showed me around the places that were all breathtaking. Even though I wasn't really here for sightseeing, I couldn't help but be impressed. First of all, this was different from the simple scenery of a city. The scenery of a charming village like this, no matter how mundane it seemed to the villagers, had a tranquil appeal to it. At first, I was only realizing the shutter as part of my tourist act, but midway through, I found myself taking pictures out of pure interest. Tourist traps had their own unique allure to them, but there was nothing like that here. I was especially captivated by the unspoiled nature of the place. If there wasn't the whole uproar of the dam, I would want to bring Yuki with me here some other time. I wanted her to breathe in this fresh air, as well as show her this rejuvenating verdant scenery.
こんなのが面白いのですか？赤坂は変な人なのです。
I mean, when you're from the city, yeah.
いや、こういう円筒状の郵便ポストなんて今はとても貴重だよ。どことなく漂うノスタルジックな雰囲気は渋いと思わないかな。
南沢は楽しいですか？
ん？ああ、楽しいよ。退院したらぜひ家内を連れてもう一度来たいよ。その時には生まれている子供も一緒にね。今は出産を控えて入院しているんだ。予定日がもうすぐでね。君みたいな可愛い女の子だといいんだけど。
お客さんはもうすぐおめでたですかいね。そんないけねえよ。奥さん惚れ出しこんなとこに遊びに来てちゃ。
You see, I'm on a mission, actually. A mission you wouldn't understand. I was momentarily at a loss for words. It was exactly how Makino said. There was no good reason for a man who was waiting for his wife to give birth to be playing around idly in this place. Did I slip up?
ああ、まあ、ひなみ沢への旅行は前々からの予定だったんで、妻の家族が付き添ってくれているから大丈夫だし。
そんなに前から予定してたんなら、もしかね間に合わんとかいね。いや、そんだったらこんな窮屈な思いさせんと綺麗な観光バスで回れたのに。
It didn't seem as if Makino was actually digging for anything. If this conversation continued any longer, I would put some unexpected holes in my cover. I halted the conversation by pretending to take another picture. Sometimes it's best to just not talk.
最後の一番景色のいいとこさ案内しましょうかね。
Is it the shrine? I want to go to the shrine. It was slightly before evening. The sun was still burning brightly, but a cool breeze had begun to mix itself into the air. It seemed my exploration of Hinamizawa with Rika-chan was just about done.
一番景色のいいところですか？
そんなリカちゃま、境内からの景色さを置いて他にありませんやね。
Hearing that, Rika-chan smiled even more.
では赤坂を僕のお家へご招待なのです。
Yes, let's go.
リカちゃんのお家って
神社ですよ。古で神社。高台にありましてね。景色さ見られるんですよ。
フルデ神社。
The girl who called Furude Shrine her home, Rika. If I remember correctly, her full name was Rika Furude. Furude was, that's right, one of the three families. Even if the Sonozaki family is said to hold all the actual power, it was still one of the old houses that held some authority. No, more important than that right now was Furude Shrine. I remember correctly, Oishi had told me. Within the grounds of the Furude Shrine, there were the offices of the Onagafuchi Guardians. Since the land around Furude Shrine was private property, the police couldn't set foot there heedlessly. Furude Shrine, where Oishi couldn't simply set foot into. The main boss of operations for the Onagafuchi Guardians. They just have a plaque with a bass on the front of their freaking base. No. That has to be a thing somewhere. It's too good of a pun not to. I had been given the unexpected opportunity to enter there. I couldn't have asked for more.
楽しみです。ぜひお願いします。
じゃあ、酒酒参りましょうかね。天気も少し怪しいですからな。
The sky had suddenly become overcast. It wouldn't be odd if it started raining soon. Cicadas, as if trying to finish their daily allotment of chirps before the evening, cried out even more fervently. Nice. I mean, I missed the antics with all the other characters, but Rika. Okay, I'm going to save real quick because we hit a little bit of a checkpoint there. The van stopped in the shrine's parking lot. Also parked there were numerous other vans with loudspeakers mounted on top of them to act as a makeshift propaganda vehicles. On the side of each vehicle was scrawled, "The dam project must be demolished. Defend our homeland to the last. No Oyashiro-sama's anger," or a slogan of similar kind. They gave the feeling that even without the loudspeakers there was enough to overwhelm any onlookers. Vertical banners were erected in various places. The contents of those banners were similar. They were all objection against the dam, or crude insults toward the government. I really need to play Ace Attorney. They were horizontal banners, placards, and so on and so forth. They proclaimed that without a doubt this was the headquarters of the Onagafuchi Guardians. For Rika-chan, however, this hectic place was also her home.
着きましたのですよ。
Oh my god, you're too cute. Stop it.
ただいまなのです。
Tadaima! Oh my god. Rika-chan crawled over my lap and exited the vehicle first. Makino had noticed I was looking at protest banners.
神社はダム反対運動の事務所も兼ねてましてね。こんな風景もあんたらには反安保闘争みてえで懐かしいでしょ。
Student movements against government policies, movements that bordered on terrorist activity, were at one time commonplace, if only in order to garner global attention. Students holding out in lecture halls, brawling with the riot squads that charged in. It was an age where wasting one's youth like that was widely considered a road to glory. It was slightly before my time.
私は別に活動家ではありませんので、普通に学び、普通に卒業しました。国の政策に あのような暴力や立てこもりで対抗しようというのには。
はあ、あんたそれはそれで立派な意見さお持ちだね。
政策に意見したかったら同じ意見の政治家に投票するか、自ら政治の世界に飛び込み正当な手続きを持って意見を主張するべきであると思っています。それが民主政治の原点です。
But sometimes even that doesn't work.
それに暴力で挑戦するなどあってはならないと思います。
For a youngin', you have some fine beliefs. I saw that feeling of respect reflected in Makina's gaze. That moment, someone tugged at my sleeve.
赤坂が何を言っているのか全然わからないのですよ。
Rika-chan, feeling like she was the only one who didn't understand the conversation, had a look of displeasure on her face. That expression was so charming I had to keep myself from grinning like an idiot. It's often said that a father wants to spoil his daughter rotten. I think I understood that feeling very well.
ごめんね、リカちゃんには難しい話だったね。
Yeah, she's a lot younger in this one than she is in the original. The original's in 1983. I think this is like 70. Gosh, like 79? I'm not sure. So she's like definitely at least like 3-4 years younger here.
日本は平和の国だから自分の言いたいことは平和的に訴えなきゃいけない。暴力で訴えてはいけないということさ。
No matter how much I explained, a girl who was just boasting about being able to carry digits over when adding things probably wouldn't understand. Probably wasn't something to talk about in front of Rika-chan anyway.
では赤坂、僕たちの村はどうやったらダムに沈まなくなるのですか？
Ooh. Even if I regretted my careless words, it was too late now. Here I was at the main headquarters of an organization, telling them their way of doing things was illegal. Preaching that violence was not the answer. Complicated feeling had mixed itself in with the respect in Makino's gaze. It was then I finally realized it wasn't that simple. There wasn't a soul who would argue that what I was saying wasn't correct. Using violence to get one's way was something that everyone knew you shouldn't be proud of. However, right now, Hinamizawa was in a predicament that couldn't be overcome with peaceful means alone. The legality of the Hinamizawa Dam project through the efforts of the various propaganda campaigns enacted by the Onigafuchi Guardians was being called into question. If they further strengthened their campaign, they might be able to suspend or change the construction plans. But that was, at the most, just a possibility. If the government proceeded with the construction as planned, it wouldn't be long before the place was at the bottom of a lake. If it wasn't for the unrestrained resistance of the residents of Hinamizawa, this place might already have been underwater.
僕たちはここでしか生きていけないのです。都会では生きていけないのです。
The words of this remarkably young girl were all too accurate, carrying with them the screams of the hearts and minds of the residents of Hinamizawa. Of course, there was nothing I could say to respond to that. I could only respond to Makino and Rika-chan's heavy words with silence.
すみません。よそ者が気安く言えるような問題ではなかったですね。謝罪します。
Makino, unsure of how to reply for a while, could only laugh pointlessly.
お客人たちのようなよそに住んでる方々には関係ねえことです。南沢さん気に入ってくださったんならお客人のお友達みんなにもそういうのが何十年何百年と広がっていけばこの村さダム底に沈めるなんてふざけた計画もやがてはついえるんですかね。
He followed that with a smile that said, "Please don't think too much of it." Makino letting me not worry that much really was a stroke of good fortune. Becoming infatuated with the idea of making friends with a little girl had made me completely forget my apprehension at being in enemy territory. Being reminded of this right before I was going to step foot into their headquarters might have been a good thing. We've had this exchange in the middle of their office. There was a short-tempered youth in there, they might have come at me. Thinking of how extreme they were, in the worst case, my life could have been in danger. It seemed that I looked quite desperate at that moment. Makino, thinking he had said something wrong, became flustered, trying to think of a way to improve my mood.
本当に軽率なことを言いました。本当にすみませんでした。
いいえ、そんなにお気にされないでください。
今日案内してもらった村のあちこちはどこもとても美しく素晴らしい場所ばかりでした。もう一度来たいと心底思わされました。そんな美しい村がダムの湖底に沈むことになれば必死の戦いになるのもわかります。
I had somehow managed to use my desperate look to change the topic in my favor. After a bit, Makino had returned to his usual high spirits. It seemed he believed I completely sympathized with his point of view.
そうそう。そんな話はこれくらいにしましょう。本当にとても景色さえいいところがあるんです。
行きましょうですよ、赤坂。
Mika-san's seeming happy to be free from all the boring and gloomy adult talk bounded up the stone steps. There was no real need to run, but in order to catch up with her, I also darted up the steps. There were several tents belonging to the town council erected at the shrine grounds. Inside the tents were several folding tables and chairs, and a number of the older town council members were livening things up with chit-chat. They weren't saying anything incendiary like the dam project must be destroyed. It was just some relaxed idle chit-chat between local geezers. The normal sort of calming scenery. At the entrance of a shed that looked like a meeting place... Oh, the music box is back. Fantastic. There was a large sign erected with Onigafuchi Guardian Headquarters written in bold brushstrokes. That was their base of operations, their base of operations. To be honest, it was a bit of a letdown. You asked what I had been imagining. This has been embarrassing, but I have thought it would be something much more dramatic. Barbed wire fences and barricades. My first impression, though, was completely different from that. It looked like a simple backwater town hall. Didn't look like anything other than exactly that. The old folks who were chatting had noticed Rika-chan's presence.
リカちゃまじゃないの。もう子供はお家に帰る時間だよ。
ここは僕のお家なのですよ。
Yeah, don't talk to Rika like that. The old folks gaffed, since she wasn't wrong. I know what it means, but I don't know how to pronounce it properly. From that exchange, I could tell that this Rika Furude girl was loved by everybody.
牧野さん、その人？電話をくれた観光の人は。
そうですよ。こちら村長さんに。
Oh, that's old man Kimayoshi. Okay. I haven't seen him before now. He smiled brightly, but there was no mistaking he would be scary if he got angry. By the look of things, the old man was the president of the Onigafuchi Guardians, none other than Kiichiro Kimayoshi himself.
ようこそひなみ沢へ。いかがでしたか？静かでゆっくりしたところでしょう。
It's definitely something.
今日一日美しい場所をいくつも堪能させていただきました。貴重な機会をお与えくださったことを感謝します。
へえ、今時の若い方なのにまた真摯な方だね。
喜一郎、赤坂に見晴らしのいいところを案内したいのですよ。
Please show me all the cool places. Thinking that formalities between myself and the mayor had gone on for too long, Rika-chan butted into the conversation. For her to call the mayor by his first name, I felt it was a little strange, but none of the villagers seemed to mind. Girl of the Furude household, one of the three families. She was probably different than the average villager. Oh, she's much different than the average villager.
赤坂、こっちなのですよ。
Okay, I will follow you anywhere. Rika-chan tugged at my sleeve. Not resisting, I allowed myself to be pulled over. And waiting for me was a magnificent view.
これは
Wow.
すごい。
It's not pixelated like in the Steam version. I can actually see. I can see the view. It was an observation deck that looked down on the village. They, knowing that this was the best view in the entire village, kept quiet as I stood there in awestruck. I was holding a camera, but I had completely forgotten to even glance through the viewfinder. This view, no matter what kind of film it was printed on, it wouldn't be able to show everything. If there was a way to explain it, it would only be what I would be able to put into words. It was such a breathtakingly spectacular view that I struggled to find a comparison. For a while I was left awestruck. I could only stand there and wonder. A cool breeze helped abate the heat rushing through my body. That comfortable sensation also left me speechless. Rika-chan, who had been holding onto my sleeve the entire time, spoke.
僕の一番のお気に入りの場所なのですよ。
As she said that, she showed me another adorable smile. That smile seemed very fleeting. If you ask why, that was because the view from her favorite spot would eventually be submerged under the deep green waters of the dam reservoir.
こんな村が湖底に沈むことになってるなんて信じられないよ。
Not if Yashiro-sama has anything to say about it. I said it quietly so that only Rika-chan could hear it. I regretted it as soon as I did, for those words were all too cruel. However, Rika-chan didn't let them cast a cloud on her expression. In fact, she replied with a smile.
沈みませんよ。ダム計画なんて必ずなくなっちゃいますのです。
She'll make it go poof. It's just like a little girl to say something like that. There was no basis for her saying so. It was just her wish.
赤坂はこの村が沈んでしまうと思っていますか？
沈んでほしくなんかないよ。
Can you all do some research for me and figure out what year this is set in? Because I have forgotten what year this chapter is set in. I know it's before the 1983 like routes, but I can't remember what year. I think it's like 79 or something. I knew that it was necessary. I just didn't want to recognize the sacrifices that would be made. I agreed with the project in general, but couldn't agree with some of the details. But if it had meant that this girl's beloved scenery wouldn't be taken away from her. Okay, it's 78. Thank you, Polly. I appreciate that. So this is 5 years before. So Rika's like 8-ish? 7 or 8, depending on when her birthday falls. Oh, thanks, Pandora. I appreciate it. But if it meant that this girl's beloved scenery wouldn't be taken away from her, I might be able to object to the dam. I might be able to ignore the interests of the nation, the development of Japan, all for the sake of one girl's smile. Not really much of a humanist, but how sentimental of me.
沈みませんよ。
Well, I looked it up. In the 1983, they don't say, like, in-game, but you can look on the wiki, like, when their ages are. I think she's, like, 12 or 13. I want to say 12, 11 or 12 in 1983. So she's, like, 7 or 8 here.
ダムの計画はもうすぐなくなりますですから。
Keiichi's, like, 14. Reina's like 13. Satoko's like 12, I think. And I think her and Rika are like the same age. And then Mion is like... I want to say 14 too. Yeah, I'm not sure how recent that is. I just know I looked it up when I was playing the games because I was unsure. I was like, how old is Rika and Satoko anyway? I was just curious. Her words weren't just hopes and dreams, but were seasoned with a hint of resolve. As if she was talking about an unchangeably predetermined outcome. As surely as the sun rising in the east.
もうすぐなくなる?
Wanting to ask her why she believed that, I turned around.
はい、なくなりますのですよ。
どうしてそう言い切れるんだい？
それはなのです。
She seemed to want to answer, but as though unable to find the right words, she swallowed back what she was about to say.
赤坂が何をしてもしなくても、ダム計画は今年で終わりになってしまうのです。もう決まっていることなのですよ。
That was a lie. If something like that had already been decided, then the Onigafuchi Guardians would have no reason to continue existing. From my point of view, it was like they were doing nothing more than throwing themselves into an endless battle. If they knew the dam project was cancelled, they would feel much more relaxed around here. This village, though, could hardly be called relaxed. Oh, it's not cancelled yet. She just knows the future because she's a freaking god. For evidence of that, I just had to remember how charged the atmosphere was at the checkpoint or at the bus stop. The villagers, with their misplaced resolve, were still fighting. And this girl, even knowing the villagers' grim resolve, had already declared their victory. The villagers throwing themselves into this endless war, this optimistic girl who had said they already won. That contrast was somehow strange.
どうしてそう思うんだい？何か確信があるなら私に教えてくれないかい？
Rika-chan stayed silent for a while, seemingly choosing what to say.
だって、
だって
She looked like she was lost on whether she should continue or not. As if she was troubled on whether it was okay for her to say it, that kind of expression.
決まっていることなのです。他に言いようがないのですよ。
決まっているって言ったって。
Really is just like a little girl to say something like that. Couldn't believe it was actually true. She was the only one saying such things with such confidence. My real mission that I had forgotten about during this fun-filled day resurfaced at the back of my mind. The kidnapping of the minister's grandson. Had the Onigafuchi Guardians kidnapped the minister's grandson and already succeeded in negotiating the cancellation of the dam project? Did Kimayoshi actually already know that and was just playing dumb? Honestly, I forgot why we were even here. Holy shit. I forgot that the grandson was kidnapped. I was just so enthralled by Rika. Was that what this girl was really telling me?
赤坂、
The girl called out my name suddenly.
なんだい？
東京へ帰れ。
Oh. The Nipa was too powerful. Huh? I wasn't only surprised at that sudden command. Ever since I came to this village, I had never once mentioned I was from Tokyo. Well, based on my accent, she might have been able to guess where I was from. What was I getting so worked up over? It's probably the sudden and complete change in her demeanor.
あなたはさっさと東京に帰った方がいい。
It's like she's like freaking a fully mature woman from the sound of her voice.
でないとひどく後悔することになる。
The girl had been holding my sleeve the entire time. She's been tugging at my sleeve since hurriedly dragging me over to show me this wonderful view. But this was the adorable Rika-chan who I'd spent the entire day with. There was no way she could have been replaced with a doppelganger when I wasn't looking. She had been holding onto my sleeve this entire time, but somehow this girl was someone other than Rika-chan. Seems to be a trend around here. She looked like Rika-chan, but she wasn't. She was some girl I had never met before. It's the demons! The girl had told me in an indifferent voice that I would eventually regret coming to this village from the bottom of my heart.
それがあまりにもみすぼらしくて気の毒な姿だから。
That voice actor, though. Damn.
今のうちから警告してあげているのです。
So serious.
どうして私が後悔することになると？
Oh,
いちいちうるさいな。
that CG is beautiful. I couldn't believe that I was hearing such cold words come from Rika-chan's mouth. I just couldn't believe it. Was somebody impersonating her, using ventriloquism or something? Thinking that, I wanted to take a look around, but the girl's gaze had me pinned down, making me unable to move.
あなたの親はあなたが赤信号の横断歩道の真ん中にいるとき、どうして危ないのかを全部説明し終えるまで引っ張るでしょ。まず歩道まで連れ戻してからなぜ危険なのかを解くでしょう。つまりはそういうこと。
Yeah, that's awesome that they've kept the same cast. Like, it's really great, like the voice acting. The girl I had spent time with, Rika Furude, would not speak like that. She would speak with a cuteness befitting her age, with brief childish remarks expressing her emotions honestly. She definitely wouldn't speak with such pointed words. I just have a hard time believing, like, the voice that went, Nipa! It's the same voice that is speaking this right now.
警告はした。勘違いしないでほしいのは、私があなたを嫌いだからこういうことを言ってるわけじゃないってこと。死んでもいい人に危険なんかを教える必要はないのだし。
君はリカちゃんじゃない。
That smile, though. As soon as I accused her of not being Rika-chan, she let out a strange, quiet giggle. It was a laugh not befitting of a child her age. It's like she was possessed by something. Her change was just that total and complete. Was Rika-chan being attacked by some terrifying phenomenon? That occult idea came to mind without any sort of hesitation. Rika-chan is acting strange. Somebody help. Thinking that I'd yelled that, I turned to where the mayor was. I immediately realized he was looking at us with a smile. That's right, to him it looked like nothing more than me and Rika-chan fooling around. He did notice there was something terrifying happening to her.
赤坂の怖がり。
The girl had obviously grasped that I was afraid. Noticing that and calling me a coward, she laughed again. The cackling girl, approaching me in a strange manner while still laughing, lost her balance and fell flat on her face. Yeah, the Higurashi laughs are the best. Oh. Rika-chan fell down. It was just a while before I would have extended a hand to help her up without hesitation. But now, extending a hand at this ominous girl who looked like Rika-chan wasn't, required a bit more courage than I had at the moment.
Me.
Oh. The girl cried out thus. She then squirmed upright and dusted herself off. Afterwards, she looked on restlessly as a blank expression crept across her face. I want to give her all the huggies and the head patties. Oh my goodness. Like, where are my emojis? Huggies. Head patties. Dude. Oh, the huggies and head patties, yes. You've got to be kidding me. Was she making fun of me? The way of acting. It was as though after being possessed by something, she had lost her memories of what happened.
冗談だろリカちゃん。
Me.
I don't know if Rika-chan had heard me or not. She just cried out like that, as if questioning herself.
お客人。リカちゃまもお茶が入りましたよ。
Tea's ready. Let me just dash my way over here.
塩大福もあるからに。
And snacks!
できんさいな。
An old lady wearing a smock was waving energetically from the entrance of the office. Hearing that there were snacks, Rika-chan's expression changed.
はーいなのです。
A carefree smile. There was a familiar smile, the one that belonged to the embodiment of my ideal daughter. Any hint of the creepy girl that was just there, spouting sinister words, had vanished.
ほら、リカちゃま。
Come to Hinamizawa, we have snacks. Totally nothing else going on. Mm-hmm.
手を洗ってきんさいね。 おててにゃ食わせるまんじゅうあり
Manju! I want to try Manju so bad.
ちゃんと洗いますですよ
That voice actor sounds so familiar. Who is that? Rika-chan responded with vigor, running off to the washing station that was along the side of the office. She stopped halfway, turning around to call to me.
早く来ないから僕は赤坂の分までおまんじゅうが食べられてホクホクなのです おててを洗わない人はおまんじゅうが食べられないのですよ
No matter how you looked at it, that was Rika-chan. Those words and the way she said them, no matter how you heard them, they were definitely Rika-chan's.
ほんでお客人大人なんだからお手本を示してやってくださいな
The old lady urged me to wash my hands. Without any resistance, I lined up beside Rika-chan at the wash station. Splish splash. I stared at Rika-chan, intent on washing her hands properly like she had properly learned at school.
みー間違っていますか
間違い。
僕のお手手の洗い方です金シールを4個しかもらったことないです僕はお手手を洗うのがきっと下手なのですよ
You get stickers for washing your hands?
間違ってなんかないよ。それだけしっかり洗えてれば十分だよ。
それだけではダメなのですよ赤坂ちゃんとたわしを使って爪の間の赤も落とさないと金シールはもらえないのです
You have to use a brush to properly wash your hands? I mean, I've never done that in my life.
うん。リカちゃんは真面目で偉いな。
ニパー赤坂に褒められましたのです
No matter how you looked at it, it was Rika-chan. There was no trace of that girl from before. I don't think nail brushes exist here. I've never had one or seen one in my life. Exactly what was that sinister girl?
リカちゃん、さっきのあれはどういう意味だい？さっきリカちゃんは私に東京へ帰れってそう言っただろ。
言いましたのですか
I was at a loss for words. She didn't remember what that girl just now had said. Like I would ever believe something as occult as that could happen. Like I would ever believe that Rika-chan could be possessed by that strange girl and say those creepy things.
リカちゃんが確かにそう言ったよ。
Not to be all Naruto here, but believe it!
み
Me. Her expression told me that. Despite my saying so, she had no idea. She wasn't playing dumb, she actually didn't know. Exactly what was that just now? Just as Rika-chan had, I let out confusion creep across my face. Oh my god. I let confusion creep across my face. I read that entirely wrong. I apologize. The two of us, both looking like we had no idea what was going on, must have certainly been a humorous sight to behold. I mean, I'm not really laughing. While partaking of tea and snacks, I was shown a propaganda film shot by the Guardians that highlighted their resistant efforts. Older folks talked passionately on how long and grueling the fight against the dam was, but they fell on deaf ears. I was transfixed by Rika-chan, who had heard these stories countless times before and was nodding off. Eventually Rika-chan noticed I was staring at her and smiled as she rubbed her eyes. That smile was Rika-chan's after all. There was no hint of that sinister shadow. After that, my unreasonable fear of Rika-chan lessened with the passing of time, but I could by no means forget what had happened. Yeah, it's super weird. I don't think I've ever seen one. It eventually grew dark. The mayor said that they had prepared dinner, but I said I would come again tomorrow and took my leave. I had to return to the hotel and file my regular report with the section chief.
そうですか。では、また明日もぜひいらっしゃい。お電話さくれれば、すぐに迎えを出しますんでね。
ご好意感謝します。ぜひ明日も遊びに来ようと思います。
I mean, we figured out a lot of information.
さしてあげてくださいな。あんた、レイカちゃまに大層気に入られたみたいだしね。
赤坂は明日も来ますですか？明日は5次元で終わりですから、3時くらいに来てくれると嬉しいのですよ。
They only have 5 periods of school. By the time I graduated, like, they kept growing them. Like, how many classes we'd have per day. Like, when I started school, I think we had 6. By the time I graduated, we had, like, 9. I'm like, why do we have more? Like, they kept scrunching classes into shorter time frames so people could get more classes in. Interesting. Okay. Please come again. That pure smile urged me to do so. There wasn't a trace of that evil aura. Depending on what happened next, all that might end up as nothing over than my hallucination. Thinking about it logically, the daughter of the Ferrude household, one of the 3 families, had taken a liking to me. Then this was a strong foothold for my investigation from here on out. It was like a free ticket for a reason to visit Hinamizawa. If only I could treat that little incident as a figment of my imagination, then having this girl who was the embodiment of my ideal daughter grow so attached to me wasn't bad either. I had successfully delved into the belly of the Onigafuchi Guardians, and had the mayor, as well as other important members of the Alliance, welcome me with open arms. This was a great turn of events. However, I still feel uneasy. Getting back to the hotel, I forced down an almost painfully cold beer until I could clear my mind. The shock from that incomprehensibly strange incident continued to torment me. Very interesting. Okay. Cool. Now, there's more than 2 chapters. This is the end of chapter 2. So, that's a lie. Maybe there's 3? The sound of the car grew closer, followed by the sound of it braking as the engine got cut out. At the moment, his up until now lackadaisical footsteps grew decisive as the man in the room dashed up to the wall beside the window and carefully peered outside. It was his comrade's car. Even so, he still didn't relax his guard. Eventually, the sound of footsteps approached the door. Thump. Thump, thump, thump. It was the passcode.
帰ってきたね。開けちょくれな。俺だ。
ああ、お疲れ。今開ける。
After the lock sprung undone and the door opened, a man appeared, his arms laden with swollen plastic grocery bags. Bags in his hands had Sevens Mart written on them, with bread and milk cartons able to be glimpsed within. The contents of those bags were then spread out over a sheet on the
カッ
floor.
プラーメン買ってきちゃう。お湯沸かせな。小僧はどうしてる？
ん？ずっと寝てる。手がかからなくて助かるよ。うんこ垂れるときは騒ぐけどな。
漏らさせんな。練習は万一の時、やばいって。
分かってるよ。
猿グツワは定期的にチェックんな。外れてもまずいん。きつくも締め付けちゃあ。窒息させたら意味がな。
分かってるって。あれ、携帯コンロのガス管頼まなかった？もうガスねえよ。
聞いてねえ。だは。
マジかよ。ついてくれよ。くそ、くそ。
He rattled the portable stove as he struggled to get it to light. Seeing that, the man who went to buy supplies let out a deep sigh. The backwards man at the sight began to walk to the corner of the room. The kidnapped boy was sprawled out on a sheet that was spread out on the
小
floor.
僧、 元気かいね。
Of course, the man didn't assume the kid was able to hear the question. That was because the boy's ears were plugged with his eyes and ears thoroughly covered by packing tape. Also, his mouth was gagged with a thin, twisted-up towel. Because of that, the boy was unable to close his mouth properly, his cheeks sticky with his own saliva. Of course, there wasn't the only reason. Both his arms were tied tightly behind his back with a leather belt.
今んところ順調らしい。命の心配はない。お前のじいさんがしぶり寄ったん。耳たぶの一つも切り落とさなきゃならんかったんけ。やらんくて済んで助かりよんよ。本家はこうと決めたら鬼やんね。どんな残酷なこと命令するかも想像つかん。その本家が小僧に傷一つつけるな言うてんから、とにかく順調なんだろうな。
大臣はダム計画を撤回で水面下工作。ひなみ沢ダム計画は無期凍結へ。小僧の解放はいつ頃になるんだろうな。早く一服したいもんだぜ。
本家が決着のタイミング測ってるらしい。いつになるかはあらんが近いうちやんな。
よかったな小僧。もうじき解放されるぞ。
The men didn't know if their voices were heard by the boy. For him, there was nothing he could do but continue to sleep to escape his harsh reality.
それよん、ガスをどうするんね。ラーメン食えんよ。ガス切れたなら言うてえなもう。
I mean, you could, but it would not be very good. The weather forecast had predicted that it wouldn't rain at all this entire week. It's not that I hate sunny days or anything. When every day is the same, unchanging sunny weather, however, anybody would long for a rain cloud or two. If it's simply clear skies for a week, a month, a year, anybody would long for a rain cloud or two. Weather specialists said that they had carefully scrutinized a large quantity of past data so it wouldn't be so likely for the forecast to be wrong. I knew as much, but even then there was occasionally a day where I was hoping that it would be wrong, as I stared up in the clear blue sky. Was I being mischievous in hoping so? I waited and waiting, feeling almost suffocated by the boring blue sky undisturbed by a single cloud. You could die from that suffocating feeling, and the population of Earth probably wouldn't have increased to this point. In other words, the only person who was being suffocated by this was me. And so, I welcomed the summer evenings where not even the weather forecast could predict a sudden shower. If I were to explain it like this, would you understand a bit more about how I feel? Let's say that tonight's dinner was going to be curry rice. When you called down to the dinner table, that what was waiting for you was instead an eggplant and bell pepper stir-fry. This is just on your mother's whim, by the way. I would be delighted by such whimsy. I don't really like eggplants or bell peppers, but still I would be delighted. The fact that the pre-established routine of curry rice had been broken would be amusing. If tonight was repeated 100 times, and 100 times you had to eat curry rice, yet for just one night that was changed to an eggplant and bell pepper stir-fry, there's no way you couldn't enjoy the chance happening. I hate pre-established routines. I really hate when things are all decided beforehand. I have no love for boredom. I always get my hopes up that something today will be different from yesterday, no matter how trivial. It's been declared that this entire week starting today was going to be clear skies. The weather forecast decided upon it, so the god of weather must also feel obliged to do so. Who's to say that a rain cloud might not just show up one day on a whim? Something that nobody can say for sure, but because the thought remains in this world, a creature such as myself can continue living without being suffocated. Tomorrow will probably be a hot and clear day. However, I'm the only one that knows that predetermined fate. Even with but a slim 1% chance, something changes. Hoping for that 1%, I hung up upside-down weather charms on my sunlit eaves troughs. In the end, I spend my days waiting for those unexpected things in life to happen. I ponder why I was hoping for it. Why was I hoping for a rain cloud? The answer was simple. I've had my fill of clear skies. Then why was I hoping for a rain cloud? The answer was simple. The fact that it was going to be sunny tomorrow was boring. So why was I hoping for a rain cloud? In the end, it doesn't really matter whether it rains or shines tomorrow. Basically, it was just that the rain would water my heart, which was withered from boredom. That's why, rather than a TV drama where the plot's already been decided, I prefer to look up at the sky. Interesting. So I'm assuming all of those are from Rika's perspective.
だいぶ血圧も良くなってきましたよ。そのお年でこれだけの回復力があるのは、いやいや、感服するばかりです。お嬢さんなら100でも200でも元気にお過ごしになれますね。
The young doctor in his medical coat said that as he undid the blood pressure cuff from the arm of the old woman tucked away in her futon. That's,
入江の先生は本にお上手で。わしんたいな死に損ないは早うしなんと。
that's,
若者の邪魔になっていけんね。
Mion's grandma. Interesting that they're showing this now. The old lady, Oryu, laughed faintly with a broad smile on her face. Then turning towards the sliding door, she called out in a strong voice.
しみこさん、かたえこさんおらんね。入江先生に麦茶でも入れてやりゃな。
Japanese people live a long freaking time most of the time. The sound of rushed footsteps from the hallways drew closer until finally the door slid smoothly open. They have much better health care and just their habits are just healthier. What it revealed was a young girl. It looked like the old lady's granddaughter.
シミコさんは今日はもう上がっちゃったよ。何かよ。
She's a little bit younger here.
みよ、入江の先生に麦茶を入れたってんな。
うん、了解。抹茶も飲む？紅茶の方
Or
がいい？
maybe she's not. I'm not sure when this actually takes place.
砂糖もミルクもたっぷり？
She sounds like she's younger.
わしが加減するから入れんでええんね。砂糖壺とミルクも一緒に持ってきてんな。
はいはい。
The girl named Mion, after giving a rather uninterested response to her taskmaster of a grandmother, returned to the hallway.
先生の麦茶は来客用のガラスジャーに入れるんよ。ちゃんとお座布団もつけてな。水滴もちゃんと拭き取っとくんね。
わーってるって。うっさいな。
A tired voice wafted a reply from down the hallway. The apathetic tone of voice was far from unusual. The old lady let a wry smile slip across her face as she chided the girl.
しょうがないやっちゃな。叱られるうちが離んねえ、なんたく。
お嬢さんお嬢さん、まあ、そこまでは言わなくても、ミオンちゃんも若いなりに頑張ってますから。
あれの母親もな、しょうがないやっちゃったんね。よう似とる。
で、その母親の母親もまたそっくりなんじゃないですか？
The old lady burst out laughing. Her expression showed she had taken the comment the wrong way.
入江先生、申し訳ない。症状発けてもらえんけんね。風が涼しそうだわ。
The cool chirping of the Higurashi had at some point started leaking through the gap in the doorway. Irie stood up and opened the door a bit. A refreshing breeze pushed out the stale air that had built up in the room.
日中はだいぶ暑くなったように思うんですが、まだ朝夕は涼しいですね。夕べは少し肌寒いくらいでした。
そんな朝夕もまたひなみ沢のいいところな。
Irie replied with a smile as he returned to sit on the cushion beside the old lady. Then the two of them for a little while soaked in the voices of the Higurashi.
わしゃ100まで生きにせ。もうしばらくは死ねんよ。
It's possible. My,
ダムの剣、きっちり蹴りつけるまでは、勘の蓋かって収まらんわ。
my, great-grandmother lived to 103. Almost 104. And, I think the oldest person that has ever lived was from Japan. think they were like, gosh,
国が一度決めたことを撤
I
回
have
す
to
るの
look
は
this up now.
なかなか難しいでしょうね。
Oldest person to ever live. Oh no, that's a lie. The oldest person to ever live was a woman from France. Interesting. Oh, the oldest unverified person is the woman from France. The oldest verified man ever is a Japanese man who lived to the age of 116 years. Wow. That's crazy. Who's the oldest person alive right now? I'm just curious. The oldest person alive is another Japanese person, Kane Tanaka, who is 118 years old. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. Okay, fair enough. Thank you, Google.
国のやることはな、いつの世も一周す回すみたいなもんね。そんでもだいぶ重いやっちゃ。
石臼ですか？
知らんねか、石臼。
Irie quickly affirmed that of course he knew what the old lady was talking about. For he knew full well that Oreo didn't like having her stories interrupted.
国の石臼はな、なんでもゴリゴリ引いちまう。大したもんよ。でもな、簡単には回らない。重い石臼なんねんな。たくさんの人間がせーのってやってようやくじりじりと動き出す。そんな石臼なんよ。
Irie pursed his lips, listening quietly to what she was saying. Eventually, Mia returned with some tea laid out on a tray. Seeing that Oreo was talking and in a good mood, she quietly knelt down and laid out the sets for the barley and black tea, careful not to interrupt.
だから一度回り始めたら簡単には止められんね。回し始める一番初めが一番重い。それが嫌だからみんな手を休めんとゴリゴリ回し続けるんね。
摩擦係数の話でしょ。確かにバッチャの話、理屈はあるね。
ちゅうことはだ。何かの間違いで突然石臼が止まっちまったら、また回すにはどえらい力がかかる。ちゅうこったな。
It's true.
確かに一度中断した計画をもう一度動かすのに必要なエネルギーはかなりのものでしょうね。
簡単には止められん石臼だけどな。一度止めれば二度とは回らん。そういう石臼よ。
石臼を止めるいい手があればいいんですがね。
Miria responded with that. Mian and the old lady suddenly sunk into silence. Irie, instinctively thinking he had said something rude, searched in small panic for the words to correct himself. But that silence wasn't the result of rude words. For what crept across Mian and the old lady's faces were contemptuous smiles. I don't like those laughs at all. The atmosphere surrounding Irie suddenly froze, leaving him flabbergasted. Thinking that the scornful smiles creeping across both their faces was the result of some mistake of his, he could only grow afraid. It hadn't been that long at all since he was enveloped by silence. However, unable to stand it, Irie could only let out a weak laugh. Irie's laugh eventually spread to Mion and the old lady. Not knowing exactly what they were laughing at, their laughter left a lingering chill. The only ones not laughing were the Higurashi, who continued their simple and unchanging chorus. Interesting. Very interesting. Let me save here. So, how many chapters are there? Let me just look at the achievements real quick. There's 3. I think. Wait. Is there more? Okay, so there's... I'm actually gonna look this up. How many chapters in When They Cry Chapter 4? That's weird because this one says there's only 2 chapters, but I guess maybe the Steam version has it separated in longer and more chapters? That's weird. When They Cry, it's Himatsubushi. Weird. Because the wiki says there's only 2 chapters, but the game is saying that there's more. That's what I was doing. Because obviously you have the final ending party thing, and then there's the detective achievement, which is for reading all the tips. And then I have, other than that, there is 1, 2, 3, 4 more achievements that I haven't gotten yet. So I'm confused. I don't know. That's weird. I guess I'll just keep playing it until it's over. But I'm gonna call it today because that's usually about as long as I usually stream anyways. So, thanks everybody for coming to stream. This is my first affiliate stream, officially. So, thanks everybody for continuing to support me. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Ooh! Yes, we are going to raid today. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. Mazukai? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Mazukai is playing Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is like my obsession. It's been my obsession for the past year because of quarantine. So we're going to be raiding Mazukai. So go check them out. They are playing Animal Crossing. So that's bound to be fun and cute. It's fine. I'll figure it out. But go raid Mazukai. Thank you so much for coming to stream. I will see you all next time. Bye!